I think we are good to go. We are good. Yeah, I think we're rolling now. What's going on, everybody? Was it Thursday now? I feel like all the days are the same. It's Jayson Slade. Hello to all of you. I'm here in our atrium right now, in our building. It's just completely empty. Everyone's gone for the day except for those that are currently on air in our building. And we're coming at you tonight, Instagram Live. We're doing something really special. We actually kicked this off last week with Noah Cyrus, where we're doing studio one-on-ones right now during these bizarre times that we're currently living in. We're doing a studio one-on-one via the Instagram Live, and I'm really liking this. We had a really good turnout and a really good conversation with Noah Cyrus last week as she opened up about some personal things and her professional things. Tonight, we're actually going to be talking to an artist that we're currently playing on WIXX right now. His name is Sam Fischer, and the name of his song, it's This City. It's immediately becoming... Waiting on Sam right now. We're going to talk to him about his song, This City. And I think if we're nice enough... Yes, what's going on, yo?
What's going on?
Sam Fischer in the house, everybody. Literally, like, from what it looks like, you're literally in the house.
It's my house.
It's awesome. Your house, man. How are you?
Some fairy lights to make it look a little special. Set up the salt rock lamp.
You know, there was some stories actually over the last couple of weeks that people have been putting their Christmas lights up and their Christmas trees, just anything to just kind of stay positive right now around these times. So I think you've kind of bought into that as well.
Anything that helps, hey. Just trying to stay positive and get through this, you know?
Sam Fischer, everybody, your hit, your song, This City, we have it playing on WIXX right now, and nothing but positive feedback on the track.
Legend, man. Thank you so much for playing it. Honestly, it's just... It's wild to be on the radio. Like, that's the coolest thing ever. So,
dude,
thank you.
I really appreciate you for taking the time out of your schedule. I'm sure you've been pretty busy, or maybe not with the freaky times that we currently live in. Where, I mean, has that basically been your home base? Is that basically where you've been spending probably like 99.9% of your time since this whole thing has been going on?
Dude, this is it. I mean, like my wife and I, we've been kind of living on top of each other. We live in kind of like a lofted one bedroom, so there are no like doors.
Okay.
So privacy is a thing, but you know, it's all good. We're making it happen, and yeah, I don't know. I think
she's sick of you guys.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, I'm super annoying when I'm bored, but yeah, you know, just trying to make it happen, trying to keep everyone entertained and giving people something to watch during the day. It's yeah, I think we're all just kind of adjusting to this new temporary normal, I guess.
How have you been spending your spare time? Are you writing new material? One of the things I've talked about on the air and just in general with everyone that I come across, I'm like, I think one good thing that's going to come out of this is that we have so many artists with all the tours that have been canceled, so much free time to just write a lot of new material. Is that something that you've been working on?
Well, I mean, I have been writing a little bit, but what's been amazing is being able to finish songs. So I've had songs that have been like 90% done for a long time, and now they're done and they're going to come out and there's going to be new music, and that's the most exciting thing for me. I've been able to finish the songs, so it's all coming. It's all coming.
Now you're from Australia. Now is that where you live now, or are you residing full time here in the States?
I'm in North Hollywood now,
but
I'm from Sydney. I've been in the States for like 10 years now. Actually, this is my 10th year in the States, or 9 years. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, I spent 4 years in Boston, and then this is my 6th year in LA. So yeah, here in North Hollywood for the foreseeable future, and yeah, but I do miss home. I do miss home for sure.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. You know, with traveling kind of been at a standstill for the most part, especially international flights. When was the last time you actually were able to go back home to Australia?
Dude, I went home for Christmas. So I was there in December, but before that it had been 3 years. And when I was home, we had the bushfires. So it's kind of, it just feels like disaster to disaster right now. But it's, yeah, I mean, I love Sydney. I love Australia. It's I will say though, it took me a couple years of being away to appreciate where I was from,
Yeah.
and it's just the best place on the planet. It's awesome.
Isn't that amazing how when you grow up someplace, no matter where you grow up, even if it's like a touristy area, like you're from Sydney, Australia, we look at that, we're like, man, Sydney looks amazing on the television. You guys have
Dude,
Olympic games there and stuff, but you're like, man, it's just like growing up in any ordinary city.
dude, it's kind of funny. Like I've literally had this conversation with, I mean, with tons of people, but like being from like a holiday destination
Yeah,
is like hilarious to me because I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes people have a very like surface level impression of what Australia might be like, and it's just like any other major city. There's just
yeah.
not that many people there, and like everyone's super happy and like by the water. It's a good life. I'm not gonna lie.
How often have you been able to keep in contact with friends and family back home? Because I think I saw on Instagram your mother's a healthcare worker, right? So she's right there on the front line. She's dealing with the same thing that a lot of healthcare workers around the world are dealing
Yeah.
with right now. What has she kind of been talking to you about?
My mom she's my hero. She's a legend.
Yeah,
But she's very matter of fact. She never blows things out of proportion, and uh, she's on the front lines. I think she's basically saying the same thing that doctors all over the world have been saying, which is there's not enough PPE, personal protective equipment, and um, you know, a lot of people are getting sick all at the same time. But Australia seems to have a pretty good grasp on what's going on. But yeah, no, it's really scary. My mom's 67 and killing it, but she's definitely in that age group where it gets a little risky to be around people who have COVID. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but she's not showing it. She's kind of going on about her job as if it's just any other day. She's just wearing a full protective garb now, I guess. Yeah,
doing the best that she can with the situation.
yeah.
Yeah. What is what is
I
something that you and your wife have been stocking up on? Like, have you guys found yourself going to the store stocking up on something in particular that maybe you guys never really did before? I mean,
Dude, you know what? We have not really been stocking up. Maybe that's a bad thing, but just
yeah,
the panic buying. I'm just kind of like, why are people rushing out and getting so much toilet paper? It's not a symptom,
right.
but but I mean, shit. When people need to go, they need to go, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think we've kind of honestly been doing like half the week making dinners at home, and then half the week getting takeout from small businesses to like
Yeah.
try and just give back a little.
Absolutely.
And obviously that's not something that everyone can do. But we're fortunate enough to be able to just eat out a little more and yeah. But as far as stocking up, I don't know. We buy a lot of wine.
That'll help during these times, right?
Yeah. So there's that, and just kind of we buy 2 loaves of bread instead of one when we go to the shop now, and we freeze one. So that
Okay.
might be a thing. But no, we're not really like stocking up. Honestly, we don't have enough space here. There's nowhere to put things if we wanted to stock up. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Now, you were originally scheduled to open up some of the tour dates for Niall Horan. You were going to be a part of that Nice to Meet You tour. And then I saw a couple of weeks ago that they started to postpone some of those shows for obvious reasons. I think the tour was going to actually kick off right before the summer, and you were going to be on some of those summer dates. What's the situation with the tour right now? Has it just been completely postponed and pushed back to later on, maybe hoping for this fall? Or what
You
can you
know,
tell us about the Niall Horan tour?
so I'm scheduled to be on the second leg of the tour, and so far Niall hasn't announced anything for postponement. That's supposed to start in July, so we'll see. I'm kind of mentally, emotionally preparing myself for it
Yeah.
to be postponed. because I don't know if I can see 20,000 people being in the same place at the same time, but I'm hopeful. And look, whatever happens, I'm just grateful to get the opportunity to open up for someone like Niall. You know, even if I didn't get to play a show, just to be able to kind of, I guess, like be recognized by someone as talented as Niall. And you know, his fans have been amazing, and you know, they're all watching what I do now, and it's yeah. So look, we'll see what happens with the tour, but hoping for the best, and whatever happens, we'll make the best of it.
How did it come
So,
about? How did they, who called you? How did it come about when you found out you were going to be opening up for him? How does that
you know
work
what?
in the music world when you find out you're going to be opening up for another artist?
It's different every time. When I opened up for Lewis Capaldi, he messaged me on Instagram and he said, "All right, Shagger, you want to come around the US with me?" And I said, "Yeah." And so that was all done in the DMs. This one, I got a phone call. Actually, I was in Sweden, and I had just landed, and I got a video message from my publisher Samantha, and she was like singing like a Niall Horan song, and I
Oh.
hadn't actually found out that I
Was
could.
it a Nile or was it a One Direction song?
It was nice to meet you. She was like
Okay.
going on for it,
Okay. Yeah.
uh, but she so that's how I found out that I called my manager, and he was like, "Oh, I was gonna make this whole thing." But yeah, so I found out through, you know, official channels, if you will. But then Niall slid in the DMs on Twitter, and he's just a nice guy, man. He's super talented, and his album is amazing. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's been my dream to tour, so hopefully I get to. If not this year, definitely next. And you
Yeah.
know,
Man, let's talk about that song, This City. I'm a big fan of it. A lot of
thank
our
you, bro.
listeners at WIXX, huge fans of the track so far. I think
Legend.
last night, we do a top 9 at 9 countdown. I think your song was number 5, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Oh
yeah,
shit. Okay.
yeah. So take me through that song. What was your mindset? What were you thinking about? How did that song come about when you wrote it?
Um, I was sad, man. It was 2016. I had a record deal that failed. I got dropped. I was just in a bad way. I was trying to be something I wasn't. Having a full breakdown identity crisis, and I just didn't. The day I wrote the song, I didn't want to go to the session. I didn't want to do anything. I was just flat out defeated. Um,
Now, when you say, not to cut you off, but when you say the identity crisis, do you mean just things that were going on around you personally, or just with your old record label as far as what they wanted you to be? Like maybe they wanted you to be more of a pop star, maybe they wanted you to be more of this.
no, I mean, it was like yes and no to that, but I think getting an opportunity and then having it go so poorly is a rough thing to deal with. But it was also problems that I couldn't talk about, because that is like, it's privilege. Like no, not everyone gets to have a record deal regardless of whether it goes well or not. And so me complaining about this, you know, record deal that I had, I couldn't talk to anyone about it because I didn't want to burden anyone else with that, because it's not hot. It's not cool to talk about. Like, oh
Right.
no, my record deal's going so poorly. But it's just also like not knowing, or like losing who I was because I wanted to fit in LA instead of just like embracing myself. So this song was just kind of my diary entry. It was everything I was feeling, and I didn't expect anyone to care about it because I just didn't think anyone cared about me. And
So you were really in a dark place at that time.
yeah, it was rough. It was rough. I mean, yeah, like mental health down the drain. It was really rough, and I have my amazing team and village of just incredible friends and my wife to really thank for getting me out of that place. And then on top of everything, my fans. You know, having the only reason this song is having a life 4 years after I wrote it and 2 years after I put it out is because the fans took it and embraced it. And
4 years ago, you wrote This City.
I wrote it in 2016 and
Wow.
then put it
Were
out.
you in LA? Was that the city that you were in at the time when you wrote it?
Dude, I wrote it in an Airbnb in West Hollywood, and then what we put out is the demo. We,
Yeah.
you know, it was all recorded sitting around a kitchen table, and yeah, it's kind of funny. But we put that out, and then in 2008, I put it out in 2018, and then 2019 TikTok happened, and
Right.
it went crazy, and now it feels like the song is new and fresh, and people are only just beginning to find it. And I don't know, man. In 2019, it had 4 million streams, and
Wow.
now it has 72 million on Spotify. I'm just and like 100 over 100 million. I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm grateful every day.
Yeah. You're a
Uh,
long way from Sydney, Australia now.
Dog. I mean, like, yeah, being an independent artist is hard enough, and so to have this
Yeah.
happen, it all feels like a freak accident. But I've been working hard, and the new music's coming. I don't know. It's all
Yeah.
happening.
Dude, you gonna give us a little taste of this city right now?
Yes, sir. My guitar is 6 feet away from me over there, so you won't see him. But
Snatch it up. Go ahead, man. Let's do it.
I've been seeing lonely people in crowded rooms, covering their old heartbreaks with new tattoos. It's all about smoke screens and cigarettes, looking through low lights and silhouettes. But all I say is lonely people in crowded rooms. The city's gonna break my heart. The city's gonna love me, then leave me alone. The city's got me chasing stars. It's been a couple months since I felt like I'm home. Am I getting closer to knowing where I belong? The city's gonna break my heart. She's always gonna break your heart. Oh. Mm-hmm. I remember mornings where my head did not. And I remember nights when I didn't feel like work. She wakes up at noon and she's out till 3. She leaves her perfume all over me. But I remember mornings where my head did not. Oh, the city's gonna break my heart. The city's gonna love me, then leave me alone. The city's got me chasing stars. It's been a couple months since I felt like I'm home. Am I getting closer to knowing where I belong? The city's gonna break my heart. She's always gonna break your heart. Yeah, yeah. She got a hold on me. She got me wrapped around her finger. She got a hold on me. She got me wrapped around her finger. The city's gonna break my heart. The city's gonna love me to leave me alone. The city's got me chasing stars. It's been a couple months since I felt like I'm home. Am I getting closer to knowing where I belong? The city's gonna break my heart. She's always gonna break your heart. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, the city's gonna break my heart. She's always gonna break your heart.
love it, man. I love it.
Cheers,
Thank you
brother.
so much for hitting us off with that one first, man. I love the song. Like I said, it was last night. I believe it was number 5 or number 6. I'm pretty sure it was number 5 on our top 99. So people were really taking up to it.
Crazy. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who listened and who's watching right now.
Let's talk about Australia a little bit, man. Let's talk now. We went over a little bit earlier about your mom. She works in healthcare. Only child, siblings. Tell me about your family. Did you grow up in a musical family?
Look, kind of, yeah. I mean, my mom is musical. My younger brother he's like a classical musician.
Okay.
My older brother's an engineer. I'm the middle child. Yeah. Mom's doctor, dad's doctor. Kind of just, I don't know. It's, yeah, I guess as far as like the pop music comes from, when I was young, we lived kind of outside Sydney, and my dad had 3 albums. He had Michael Jackson's History Part 2, he had Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard soundtrack, and he had like a compilation of like Sundance rock.
Okay.
So that was like my foundation for like the first 7 years of my life.
Okay.
And then we moved to Sydney and it expanded, and yeah, but Australia's great, man. The talent in Australia is sick. I miss it.
Tell me about the instruments, man, because I did my research on you, and it seems that you are quite the instrumentalist, man, in terms of just playing instruments. Now, you started off at, what, the age of 3 or 4 playing violin or saxophone, something like that. Like, I thought that was crazy. I was like, yo, this dude's special.
Oh, man. Look, I started when I was 3. There was a violinist who I remember is maybe my earliest memory.
Wow.
But I went to a concert, and her name was Queenie, and she was this phenomenal violinist, and I said I want to play violin, and so I started playing violin, and that was my instrument. I thought I was going to be a soloist, a concert violinist, and then I don't know, my taste changed, and I started playing saxophone, and then singing had always been there, but no one really heard me sing till I was like 12 or 13, and then that just kind of took over. It was all singing all the way. So parents might not have been too stoked because they paid for all those lessons, but it's all good. We're here.
How does that help you out when you go into a studio and record? Like, if there's a particular song that calls for maybe a violin or a piano or a guitar or a saxophone. I mean, how beneficial is that? Because they don't have to bring someone from the outside to do it. You can just play it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't yet recorded myself on any songs, but I could totally get out the old violin and have a go at it.
Yeah.
If I need it, I haven't done that yet, but I probably will now that we're here and we can't really do anything except for things we can do ourselves. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just having a musical background and like studying music and doing all that. It definitely helps in the studio, but I will say I technically have a songwriting degree. You definitely don't need a degree to write a song, and I think it's kind of funny.
How old were you when you started writing songs?
I wrote my first song when I was like 12, and it was a song
called
Wake. What does a
12-year-old write a song about?
Yeah, exactly. It was called Wake Up, and it was about waking up.
Okay.
Listen,
I imagine it being about someone in class that you have a crush on, maybe, like something of that nature. I don't know. Like, what does a 12-year-old write about?
I was not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wanted to write things that were important to me, and that was waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
Seeing another day. There's a deeper meaning there.
Yeah. You know, it's one thing when you live here in the States, it's nothing. Like, you know, there's really no restrictions. If you want to move to another state, you can do so. And, you know, for some people, it can be a tough decision because depending on how close you are to friends and family, that can definitely factor huge on your decision. But for you, you're moving from an entire different country. You're crossing an ocean. When do you make that decision? Like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the States. Was there like a long conversation in the living room on the couch that you had with your parents about, you know, doing this, or they were always just fully supportive and just let you be free and just let you do it?
No, Yeah, no, it was a bit of a tug of war. My mum has always been super, super supportive. She, has always been chase your dreams. But I left home when I was 18 and I moved to the UK and I took a gap year and went there. I
Okay.
gave my parents about 2 weeks notice that that was happening. And
Was that done on
it's,
purpose?
I mean, look, I don't know what it was, man. I felt the US had a calling. I don't know. I was drawn to the US. I was 18. I was arrogant, and I just said, "Look, I got myself a job in the UK. I'm gonna go work at a school for a year, and then we'll see what happens." And it was tough, but it was ultimately the best thing I ever could have done. I've spent my entire adult life away. I love Australia, but I'm here now. I'm married to an American, and yeah, I mean, my dad lives in Canada, uh, so it's just we're all over the shop. Younger brothers in Germany.
Oh
It's
wow,
just kind
you
of
guys are all over the place.
we're all over the place, man. We're very very independent humans, but
A lot of video chats, I imagine.
look, we've you know what? No real video chats because we're all in different time zones,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
there's a text. It's cool.
Um, when do you, so songwriting, you've written for Clean Bandit, I saw. You did a song for Sierra. Is that right? Did you write a song for Sierra?
Yeah, dude. I wrote Dose for Sierra.
And Jennifer Hudson, you wrote one for her?
Jennifer Hudson and I, we wrote together. She has not put out the song, but she is a
Okay.
beautiful human, and it was amazing to work with her. Yeah.
How does the process work when you're writing for another artist as opposed to writing a song for yourself? Like the mind frame, are you envisioning how the song would come out in your vision, or do you imagine the artist in the studio singing it? Like, what's your mind frame when you're writing for other artists?
I guess it depends. If I'm in the studio with another artist, it's always fun to kind of dig deep into their story and what they want to write about. But every song that I write comes from a personal place for me. Um, and so, every song that comes out with another artist, there's always a part of my story in there because I think to write good songs, you got to write from an honest place. And yeah, I don't know. It's fun with Sierra, for example. She FaceTimed into the session. She told us kind of what vibe she was going for. She was super super collaborative. She was obviously not in LA, but we did it that way, and it was just like big dance party record, and with this like drum line going. So we did that thing. But there have been some songs that are my personal story that artists have heard and have wanted to put their touch on it, and that's always interesting because sometimes I'll love the song and I'll want to keep it for myself, but then I'll hear their version and I'll go, oh my goodness, this totally lines up with their story and it means more to them than to me. And like, yes, every song is my child, but sometimes it's, they find a new home. That's okay.
Right, you just beat me to it. That was going to be my next question because I feel like maybe I would be a little bit more selfish, but maybe it would be different if I was actually doing it for a living. When you write a song for another artist, are there those cherry picking moments? Like, how do you decide, okay, man, this is just too damn good. I think I might want to keep this for myself. Or, I mean, how does that work when are there negotiations ahead of time on writing for other artists, or do you just go along as you?
Yes and no. I mean, it depends. Look, when I'm in the studio with another artist, of course it's their song.
Yeah.
100%. When I'm writing and it's just kind of my like group of writers and producers that I work with most, it's kind of just I don't know, seeing how it turns out, and we kind of listen back and it's like, uh, who do we hear this for?
Okay.
I will always say in the session if the song is for me or not, but the session will start like that. And
Okay.
but before I had a deal, I don't know, like when you're in the writing business and you're an artist, but you're independent, for a songwriter, it's like, okay, well, it's not a label release, so there's not going to be, much money put into it, and then it becomes a whole whatever. But look, I work with amazing people, and for me, I care about what's best for the song. If it's my personal story and something I want to say, it's obviously my song. But I don't know. It's also thinking about, like, there have been songs that I've loved that I've given away, and I think about, okay, what's best for the song? What's best for the whole group of the team that built this song? And yeah, I don't know, but it's cool to be the artist and to be one that people want to cut their songs. Like, that's awesome. I write all my own stuff, but it's awesome to like be in the session and say, "This one's for you, right?"
This one's for
I'd be
you.
like, yeah. So,
What's the next song you want to play for us, man? Tell us about it.
this next song is a song called "Ready,"
Okay.
and I wrote it with my guy Jeff Warburton, who he just co-wrote the new 5 Seconds of Summer song "Wildflower," which is
Okay.
dope. And then Tia Scola and Rekies, and it's kind of my message to like at the time when we read it was like the industry. I write a lot about Samantha's here. Samantha is Jeff's girlfriend. Hi, Samantha. Um, it's kind of it's like, tell me when you're ready to love me, because I can love you better than you're loving me, and it's
Wow.
like, I know this can work out, and I tend to write about a lot about the relationships in my life, and just kind of the not necessarily romantic ones, but the way that people come in and out of your life and influence you and change you also. So yeah, that's this song. It's called Ready.
Nice. Let's check it out.
Cool.
Sam Fisher, everyone.
Please just tell me if I'm wrong. Why you stringing me along? I'm doing my best to get you out my head, but it's been going for too long. I hope that you're happy. I know that you can be, 'cause no one's gonna love you like I'll love you if you let me. This isn't healthy. Nothing can help me. No one's gonna love you like I'll love you if you let me. Tell me when you're ready, ready. Tell me when you're ready, ready. I don't wanna keep pretending that you and me are only friends. I know you feel the same, nothing ever changes, and I can't do this all again. I hope that you're happy. I know that you can be, 'cause no one's gonna love you like I love you if you let me. This isn't healthy, and nothing can help me, 'cause no one's gonna love you like I love you if you let me. Tell me when you're ready, ready. Tell me when you're ready, ready. Just say when, 'cause it hurts to know I've done all I could do. Oh, just say when, 'cause I'm running out of ways to say to you, I hope that you're happy. I know that you can be, 'cause no one's gonna love you like I love you if you let. This isn't healthy, and nothing can help me, 'cause no one's gonna love you like I love you if you let me. I know we'd be happy, I know what we can be, 'cause no one's gonna love you like I love you if you let me. Tell me when you're ready, ready. Tell me when you're ready, ready. you tell me when you're ready. Ready. Tell me when you're ready. Ready.
Nice. Sam Fischer, ready now. Is that on your Not a Hobby EP?
No, it's not. That's a new one.
Okay, that's brand new.
That's brand new. It's coming though.
Okay. Yeah, the Not a Hobby, that's your EP. It got dropped. It got released in January, but from what I understand, that was a re-release. Is that right?
The EP was, yeah. It sorry, someone just tried to call me. The EP, yeah, the when I signed the label, they wanted to re-release it, which was super sick. So they did, and everyone's been awesome, man. The support that I've got has just been crazy, completely blown away. It's just nuts.
Full album in the works?
Full project. It's you know, I don't know if it'll be a couple EPs and an album, definitely an album, but right now we're calling it a project, and we had a short list of like 27 songs, and we've been finishing about 10 right now, and there's so much music coming, and I've got Frank Walker did a remix of it that's coming tomorrow or at midnight tonight, and yeah, you know, just tons of music. I'm so excited to get it all out.
Social media, man, how do your fans get at you?
It's just at Sam Fischer. Instagram's my main thing, but yeah, at Sam Fischer, and it's Fischer, and yeah, at Sam Fischer on I think everything. Maybe Sam Fischer Music on TikTok, but you don't want to say that.
Scotty Waters just messaging a question, wanting to know which songwriters inspire you personally.
Which songwriters inspire me personally? Julia Michaels, incredible. JP Sachs is amazing. I think Phineas is incredible.
Billie Eilish's brother, Phineas.
Yes, Phineas is unreal. My guy, Jeff Warburton, who I write pretty much everything with, he's amazing. I'm trying to think. My producer, Ryan Maroon, he's amazing. I think what Ricky Reed and Lizzo have done together has been super sick.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, DCF, he's an amazing artist in Canada. He's crazy good.
Yeah.
Ruth Ann Cunningham, she wrote Too Little Too Late for JoJo. She's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
a lot.
Ed
a lot
Sheeran, John Mayer.
Yeah, a lot of influence. You just keep going all day long. Well, hey, Sam, I really appreciate the time, man, for you taking time out of your home life and your quarantining and everything to join us for the Studio 101. I just looked at the time, man. I got to jump on the air so I can play this city. I got to play this city.
Go play the city, yes.
Dude, thank you so much. WIXX, Jayson Slade, Sam Fischer. Dude, stay safe, stay healthy, stay well. Good luck with everything. Appreciate it. Have a good night.